When you are learning how to make soap for the first time and you're a new soap maker, it is very easy to fall into a rhythm of just following the steps of a recipe that you're provided with without even understanding what's actually happening. In fact, that is what most beginner soap makers do, and it's even exactly what I did. But once you understand what's happening, everything really starts to make a whole heck of a lot more sense. You're able to not only understand, but figure out and troubleshoot what went wrong with a batch of soap, as well as understand what went right with each batch of soap. And then you can begin to formulate your own recipes, and soap making, the world of soap making just opens up to you when you really understand what's going on in the pot. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what's going on, and we're going to do it using the very first soap I ever made, a 100% olive oil or Castile soap. Now, I already have my oils already poured out, and it's, again, just 100% olive oil soap. I already have my sodium hydroxide and water solution measured out, and that's ready to go. You can get the full details, the full recipe, and a written step-by-step guide for this full process over on my site in the free natural soap making course. But let's go ahead and start the basic process and get to making soap, and we'll chat a little more about what happens when you're making soap while we're stick blending. So here we go. We have our sodium hydroxide, we have our fatty acids, our oils, and we combine them. Nice and slow. I'm pouring down the stick blender. Now, this is a very simple recipe, and it is the first recipe that I ever made. When I was learning, we learned from books from the library, and I didn't know what fatty acids were. Not really. I didn't know about sap values. I didn't even know I should be using a stick blender. We hand stirred that batch of soap, and it took forever. It was a homeschool science experiment with my kids, so I do have a lot of nostalgic memories around it, but we stirred that by hand for probably 5 hours while watching Star Trek. We never did reach a trace. We reached what I now know is an emulsion, and we went ahead and poured it, and the batch came out great. So there is something to say for following a good recipe. But like I said, once you really understand what's happening here, then you can do more than just follow recipes, and you can really start to have a lot of fun with soap. As I'm stick blending here, this is where the real transformation starts to happen. At the beginning, we're just combining two things that don't naturally want to stay together, oils and a water-based lye solution. The stick blender helps force those into a stable mixture called an emulsion. And once we reach emulsion, the oils and lye are evenly mixed and they won't separate out from each other. But the soap isn't fully formed yet, and our batter is still thin. As the batter thickens up, you can see the chemical reaction called saponification start to take over. The lye is breaking apart the fatty acids and the oils and rearranging them into something completely new, soap and glycerin. So what you're seeing here isn't just mixing, it's a chemical change happening in real time. As the reaction progresses, the mixture continues to thicken, and that thickening is what we call trace. With a 100% olive oil soap like this, that process is going to take a little longer, but that's completely normal. So even if it looks like not much is happening just yet, everything is already in motion. The reaction has started and the soap is forming. And look here at how much thicker the batter looks and how it really continues to coat the shaft of the stick blender. Now, I don't think we're at a thick enough of a trace for you to really, really see it, but our batter is definitely thicker. Oh, yes, there. I believe you can see that trace. So once you've reached trace, or at least an emulsion, you can go ahead and pour your soap into the mold. After the soap is poured, it's left to sit and continue saponifying while it hardens. Then after a couple days, it's ready to unmold and cut into bars. And honestly, this part never gets old for me. There's just something magical about cutting into a fresh batch of soap and seeing the finished bars for the first time. If you'd like to learn more about soap making, please come and join me over at soapyfriends.com and start with the free natural soap making course. From there, you can explore everything from the basic equipment you'll need to advanced topics like coloring soap with botanicals and formulating your own recipes. I'm really looking forward to soaping with you and to seeing you in one of my live classes. Happy soaping, my friend.